Hey guys, I was gonna make a video today about being out in nature and how, overall it's so grounding and helps us kind of like reconnect with the earth and also just brings us back to center. My boyfriend and I spent Valentine's Day in Yosemite, which was beautiful. And sadly, the day we got there was the day that the mass layoffs were announced. Obviously, we had no idea, no one had any idea that this was going to happen. And we're just so glad to be supporting the parks, even during that crazy time. But something about being in Yosemite, it was so special and just so I've been to a few national parks. I've done I just want to make sure that wasn't something on my face. I've done Zion, which I love. It's one of my favorite ones. Zion is incredible, and the red rocks and everything is just breathtaking. And I've done Sequoia, I've done Wyoming, the Grand Tetons and stuff like that, seen Yellowstone. But there was something about Yosemite, and I'd been there years before, maybe like 8 years ago, but this time, like, I just felt like this spiritual connection to it. And it was just breathtaking. Like, I still think the rocks in Zion are incredible and pretty and breathtaking and stuff, but like everything in Yosemite is just massive. And I guess I believe they said the rocks are like made of granite or something. I can't remember because they also look very unique. But just like being in the streams and being, in the woods and the trees, and they have sequoias, and my boyfriend and I hiked like an hour to get to through snow to get to the sequoias, and there is nothing like that. There is nothing like seeing the redwoods and just 100 diameter base of a tree. Like, it's insane. You'll never feel more smaller than when you're next to a tree like that. It's incredible. And the entire time we were just talking about, like, these trees have been here for thousands of years, a lot of them like 2000, and it's just incredible, like, to think of all the things that they've probably seen and will see, because they'll be around way after we're gone. And of course, like, in walking around, like, we saw a few quotes of John Muir, and I'd always heard of him too, but when I finally like looked into it, I was like, oh my God, like, he felt the spirituality in that area, and he wrote about it a lot. It was kind of, his great contribution to the US was preserving these lands and helping push for that. And just being out there and just walking around, and it's so crisp and it's so beautiful. Like, yeah, I mean, it's one thing I was telling my boyfriend, like, it's one thing to go on a hike or go to the beach, to the desert, and you just immediately, it's good to be in nature in general. It just helps ground you. It helps, center you. But being in Yosemite was like, I don't know, you can just see it, you can feel it. Like, I was just looking at like the sun peeking through the trees behind like a mountain, and I was like, that's God, like, that's the universe. I don't know. I hope that nothing happens to the lands, because everyone's speculating, like, what's he really trying to do? Are they going to try to privatize that area and sell off the land and stuff? And I truly hope that people will absolutely go against that. But as I was getting ready to talk about this stuff, I just saw an article about a person who was just arrested for having a cult-like following. And that's kind of like, I think that's why I started making these videos, is because when you get the call to spirituality, again, you're going to want to try to find like-minded people. And again, like I said, like Alan Watts, the best quote I'd ever seen or read was like, spirituality is like someone trying to sell you your own watch. So all these things are already inside of you. All the answers are already inside of you. It's literally written in our DNA, but there will be people that come here and try to convince you otherwise and try to make themselves the leader. And it's funny, like, you know, how many times have you heard of someone being like, there's a name for it, I forget what it's called, but it's like Jesus syndrome, where it's like, I'm God, I'm Jesus, worship me. And it's like, we're all God. We all have that within us. Like, that's my main thing with religion, I think, is I hate that, you know, especially Catholicism has, you know, priests or whatever, and their whole thing is we have a direct connection to God. So if you want to talk to God, talk to me, and then I'll talk to him and like relay that message to you. And it's like, no, I can talk to God. I can get these messages too. I can get these downloads, whatever you want to call them. But again, like the whole point is just to be wary, because as things get crazier, which it's only February 2025, and I don't know, people are going a little nuts. But again, I hope that you find like-minded people, but don't fall to false prophets. And again, like, be wary of people trying to charge you for things and sell you things that are already within. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm totally in a turning point in my life, and I'll be the first to tell you, like, I've had anxiety the entire day, had a doctor's appointment, and, you know, I think I mentioned I'm leaving corporate America, so it's like, started to panic, like, you know, once I don't have insurance, how am I going to pay for things? What about money? What about this? What about that? And like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's all sunshine and rainbows, you know what I mean? Like, I very much so do panic, but I also have this moment of peace of like, I've been here before. This isn't the first time I've had like a truly career turning moment, and I know that I will figure it out. I may not know what that looks like right now, but I will figure it out. And yeah, and you know, my past experiences are just going to help me along the way. So don't give up on yourself. Listen to that voice inside of you always. It will always let you know if something's wrong. Yeah, this cult leader like led 3 or 4 people in like a killing spree. I don't know. I mean, again, just listen to the voice within, because there's no God that's asking you to take somebody else's life. That's for sure. Again, trying to keep these under 10 minutes. So yeah, see you on the next one. And again, it's really uncomfortable for me, but I'm going to keep doing this. And yeah, and I think I figured out the commenting thing for this round. So I'm going to see if that works, because I haven't gotten to work the last 2 times.